Well, hello. Welcome back to Fitness Friday with Johnny Tiger on January 15th, 2021. The setup today looks a little bit different, I know. The reason is the kind of workout I'm going to show you guys today is a little bit more unconventional. Ever since the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of us have to find different ways, more unconventional ways to get our workouts in. So today I'm going to show you kind of workout. All it requires is hard floor, either linoleum or hardwood floor. You don't want to do this on the carpet, trust me. Um, Something like a piece of cloth or gloves or socks to cover your hand or your feet, and a tiny bit of open space. You don't need a lot of space. Just look at, we're doing this in the kitchen. I don't really have a lot of space in here, but it's still work for this group of exercises. So yeah, hard floor, something to cover your hands and feet with, and a little bit of open space. That's all we need. But before we get into today's workout, earlier when I was on Google, I saw this little Google notification about uh, commemorating Dr. James Naismith. Some of you might have already come across this today, but just in case you didn't, I did find this very interesting, and this is somewhat related to fitness, so I thought to bring it up. Who is this Dr. James Naismith? Well, apparently he was a guy who first invented the game of basketball back in 1891 in New York, I believe. He was in, uh, uh, yeah, I believe he was in New York. So, yeah, apparently Dr. James Naismith was tasked with the uh, project to come up with a way for athletes to work out indoor during the cold winter. So he invented this game that would be played using a soccer ball and a couple of fruit baskets nailed up on the wall. He divided his students into two groups, 9 people on each team, and every time they anyone can get a ball into the fruit basket on the wall would score a point. That was the first basketball game. Actually, the first official basketball game didn't happen until the March of 1892. So 3 months after Dr. James Naismith came up with the concept. Apparently, in the beginning, after every time they score, they have to wait for someone to go fetch the ladder so someone can climb up and get the ball out of the basket. And eventually, they got tired of doing that, so they decided to cut the bottoms out of the basket so the ball would drop back down without anyone having to go up and fetch them. And as I said, initially on each team there would be 9 people rather than the five that we see today. So anyway, that's just a little bit of basketball related trivia for those of you that didn't happen to see it on Google today. So back to our workout. Now, before we start, I want to caution you that you need to have very good control when you first start doing these exercises. Otherwise, you're going to slip. You're going to fall on your face. So please be careful, okay? Please be careful. The keyword for these exercises is control, control, control. So, without further ado, I got my trusty toque here. Those of you who don't know what a toque is, this wool hat you put on your head and to cover your ear and face in very cold weather, like here in Canada. So I got my trusty toque here, and I'm on hard floor in my kitchen. Hopefully you guys can see me. I know you can't see my upper half, but that's okay. So first, I'm going to show you guys two from standing position. I'm going to put this toque over one of my feet. The other foot I'm leaving bare so I don't slip and fall. Okay, very important. You only want to put it on one extremity at a time, so one hand at a time or one foot at a time, so you can still have some semblance of control. Now, okay, so with this piece of cloth under one foot, we are going to glide that foot slowly forward, controls, slowly forward, and bend the standing leg like we're going to forward lunge, and then pull it back. Glide forward, bend the standing knee, and pull it back. Glide forward, bend the standing knee, pull it back. Okay? Now, what we're using here is the resistance created by the drag between this piece of cloth and the floor. So obviously, if I want to do a regular lunge, I just pick up my foot, step forward, but that's defeating the purpose. I need to have that drag. This is why I'm not picking up my foot. I'm just gliding forward on this piece of cloth and pull back. Gliding forward, gliding back. Be very careful. If you're not sure about your balance, put your hand on the table to help yourself. Number 2, this time we're going to glide out to the side. So with the hook under my right foot, I glide my right foot out to the side, bend my left knee like a side lunge, and then drag it back. Glide it out to the side and drag it back. Glide it out to the side. This is a lot harder than it looks, really. Try it sometime. It's really, really a lot harder than it looks. Okay, of course you can glide back and forward. Glide back and drag forward. You can do that too. And then of course, once you're done, usually 1 minute each set, you can switch leg, put it under the other foot, and do it with the other foot. Number 3, now we're going to go down onto the ground in a push-up position. I go down in a push-up position with the hook under my right hand. And holding this push-up position, I'm just going to glide it up and pull it back. Glide it up and pull it back. Glide it up and pull it back. Every time I glide my right hand forward, I'm bending my left arm like I'm doing half a push-up. Again, make sure be nice and slow and controlled. Otherwise, you're going to do a face plant in the floor. Number 4, same thing. We're going to go into a push-up position, but this time we're going to glide out to the side instead. So from our push-up position, let me move to the side a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see me a little better. So push-up position, we glide out to the side, do one push-up, and pull it back. Glide out to the side, do one push-up, and pull it back. Glide out to the side, push up, and pull it back. Number 5, we're still going to be in push-up position, but this time we're going to have the hook or cloth or whatever you're using under our foot instead. Let me turn myself around. You guys can see what I'm doing. So, from the push-up position, with this piece of cloth under my left foot, I'm going to do a mountain climber without lifting my foot. So this foot will glide up until my knee is up at my elbow, and then glide back down. Glide up, glide down, glide up, glide down, glide up, glide down. Just like that. And while we're down there, down here anyway. We'll do number 6. This time, you guessed it, we're going to glide out to the side and back, side and back, side and back, side and back. Last but not least, I'll show you guys the one that my beautiful, intelligent, and really hardcore girlfriend invented. Well, I don't know if she invented, but I first heard it from her, so I'll just imagine that she did. She probably did. This time, we're going to, I mean, you can still use the cloth if you want, or use a large towel, but for me, I find wearing long pants is good enough. So, what we do is from the ground, we lay on our belly, propped up on our elbow or hand. So, I start by laying on my belly. Ooh, this floor is really cold. Okay? Now, without lifting anything, I'm just going to drag my both knees up to my hand and then glide them back down until my belly touching the floor. Drag them up to my hand and then glide them back down till my belly is touching the floor. This is definitely, you don't want to do this on carpet. You're going to get carpet burn and lose a lot of leg hair and stuff like that. But anyway, this one is a lot of fun if you do it on a hard floor and with the proper padding for your knees. If you have a knee problem, you don't want to do this. So one more time. From belly down on the floor, propped up on your elbow or hand, you're going to keep your knees on the ground and drag them toward your hands by crunching up and then extend. Crunching up and extend. There's a lot more you can do with these, but now that you've done 7 of these, 7 different moves, I think you get the idea. All you need is to create that slip, slide, gliding motion on the floor while keeping your weight on your extremities. Thank you for checking out today's Fitness Friday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Survival Saturday. For now, have a good night.